Wife cheated. Says she is pregnant. Now I am waiting for DNA results. How do I make sense of this? Long story short, my wife Anna, 33, cheated on me. I, 34, don't know why. She says she doesn't know why either. Anytime I ask anything, it's just a river of tears. She says sorry and begs me to forgive her and forget it, but I can't. But leaving hasn't been easy either. We have 2 boys together. She's my high school sweetheart. Our families are longtime friends and are still tight with each other. They've all urged me to stay for the kids, to forgive her since it was one time, to not give up all the good because of one bad. But the worst part is she's pregnant. I found out about the pregnancy from my mother as I had her blocked and wasn't living in the same house anymore. I demanded a paternity test. She readily agreed and swore she'd get rid of the child if it's not mine. She's had nothing but curse words for her affair partner. But then, all she's done since getting caught, didn't confess, is curse the guy and herself and cry. She's threatened to end herself. All she does is hug the boys and cry. I'm waiting on the results. I'll divorce her anyway, but she says the baby is for sure mine. That she slept with him once, whereas we'd been intimate pretty much every night the duration of her affair. It lasted 2 months, I think. They met, talked, and slept only once if I'm to believe her. I don't know why, but the idea of the child being mine disgusts me. It feels like she couldn't commit to anything. Not to me nor the other guy. Why was she cheating if I was satisfying her? How is it that she wanted to talk about her feelings with some random man, but not me? How was she sharing her deepest thoughts and feelings with this guy and being with me at once? How does that even work? I've always thought cheating was because you weren't being fulfilled by your partner at home. I've read all these stories of wives leaving their kids, denying affections to their husbands, making jokes at the husband's expense, ruining the men financially, etc. She's done nothing of that sort. She's still the best mother I could have hoped for my sons. They love her more than they love me, I know. She was still the same loving and giving woman I fell for while she was being with the other guy. I saw her texts, the one she hadn't deleted, and every other text is, I love my husband. I don't understand. I can't make heads or tails of this situation. If I did give her a baby, am I expected to forget and move back in? What if I can't do that? It's easy hating the child now because that might be her APs. But what if it's mine and I still hate it? I genuinely don't know how to be without her. Our entire lives are interwoven. Some days, I want to go back to the blissful ignorance I was living in. The DNA report takes a week, I believe. It's been 3 days. My sister, she visits Anna regularly. I'm angry about that too because she's only visited me twice. Says my wife just looks at our wedding photos and cries. We have a whole junkyard collection worth of pictures and memories. She begged me to go see her once. I am clueless of how to proceed. It would have been so much easier if she had been a horrible woman for those 2 months that I could begin to look back and hate. But I can't. Life had been as normal and sweet as ever. I don't even have a bad memory of her I can use to hate her. Our last big fight before this, I can't even remember. I'm going to see her and my boys tomorrow. I think I'll ask for DNA tests on them too. I know they're mine, but you never know. Maybe I'll do it just to hurt her. Maybe I'll find something and I'll just hurt myself more. But that feels so unfair to the boys. Just how do I make sense of this? Edit. I called her. She was crying again but agreed to meet with me. I told her I was going with divorce one way or another. But whether we can ever reconcile a few years later or not fully depends on her honesty. She was crying and her voice sounded rough. But after a while, she said she will tell me everything. But for some reason, she asked me to bring my sister along. My sister hasn't said anything either. I'm only praying my sister doesn't turn out to be an accomplice or something. She didn't beg for forgiveness or say, think about our kids, after I told her how manipulative she's sounding. She seemed genuinely shocked to realize how she was holding me hostage with her threats. Does that mean something deeper? Are they actions of someone who has remorse? Edit. I talked to her. She showed me all the evidence and I found out which the man was. I am certain now that she was in fact assaulted. However, Anna doesn't seem to think so. She says she didn't fight back and had goaded him, which made him attack her. I cannot update because Reddit is being strange. I have decided to put everything on hold for now and just take her counseling. Nothing else until I get the paternity results on the baby. Thank you so much for all the advice. Update. So, the DNA reports came back, and the baby is mine. I wasn't even surprised at this point. The day we sat down and talked, she told me she had returned home to immediately take her birth control pill. So, she was certain the baby would be mine, and she once again said if by any chance it was the other guy, she would abort the baby. That she had no plans or desire to have kids with anyone except me. I won't lie, her words were a good comfort to me. I could tell she was telling the truth. I've been reading too many Reddit stories of men finding out their wives were all too willing to have some random man's child. I cannot lie, even the idea of that made me sick. I asked her if she'd keep this baby even if I filed for divorce. She said yes. So, that's where we're at in terms of the baby. As for the other guy, not disclosing too many details, it was a relative of hers. An older cousin who had been harassing her for a long time, literally since before we even met. She just never said anything to me or complained because her family, and frankly mine too, are obsessed with the entire family comes before all mindset. I'm seeing this pressure to keep everything together happen to me in real time after all. Anyway, long story short, he had returned to our hometown around 3 months ago and started texting, followed and harassing her. Hence why all the blocked numbers and repeated texts of being happy with me and loving only me. She admitted to sending him a videotape of us being intimate as a way to make him ashamed of her and leave her alone. That she had repeatedly spoken about me and mocked him when he insisted he could do better. She thinks all this goading and insulting had triggered him to attack her, and she never said anything to me because she is certain it was her fault for engaging with him. That if she had ignored him like before, he'd have just left her alone. I've seen enough texts, confronted enough people, and heard enough to confirm she isn't lying. Now I'm just focused on getting this woman the therapy it turns out she has needed for a long time. I have decided on legal separation for now, but haven't met with the lawyer yet. Our kids will have both of us, of course, and I'm happy to know at least my irrational hate for the baby is gone. It's the only positive thing I'm feeling right now. I'm beginning to think clearer now. Reddit has helped me feel confident in protecting myself. I don't feel quite so selfish now. I will support Anna because she desperately needs it. Our relationship needs work, but that comes second to her health, our baby and our sons. I'm going to work on us, but I'm also taking steps to protect myself and the boys. I have Reddit to thank for giving me the confidence to do this and not feel guilty. Much thanks for that. Edit. I am not divorcing her. It's a temporary separation because she needs to heal first before we can be a couple again. Her response to being harassed by that man was putting herself on me. She admitted our first time, over 10 years ago, was in part influenced by his obsession with her virginity, meaning our first time happened before she was actually ready for something like that. Her response to his texts was sending intimate videos of us. Her response to me trying to get some space was trying to seduce me back into bed with her. I'm not a therapist, but that attitude is not healthy. That much even I can tell. Right now, her idea of therapy is to pretend like nothing happened and try to get intimate with me at any opportunity. And she takes me saying no as rejecting her for being used. I'm not helping her with this separation, I know, but I can tell I'm not helping her cope by being too close either. A little separation is best as suggested by the therapist and lawyer. Comment 1. In another comment, you said you are legally separating because she wasn't forthcoming about the sexual harassment. However, look at how her family has failed her. How long has this been happening? Since she was a teenager? Although she's an adult now, her family's dismissal of sexual harassment has seriously screwed up her ability to judge the situation. I get that you both need therapy and you need time to process this info, but hold off on a legal separation until you've had a few sessions with a therapist. Ask them to help you make sense of why she didn't tell you. Please don't do this to her. She was already conditioned by her family to keep quiet about sexual abuse, and now your actions are enforcing that belief. And if nobody is calling the cops on her cousin, they might as well just be enablers because this will happen again. Except this time, she knows for a fact that she won't get any support and will keep quiet about it. Opie, I'm not separating because she lied. I'm physically keeping distance because Anna thinks everything will be okay if we have sex. I truly think she needs therapy before we can get there. But anytime I try to say no, She thinks I hate her and gets worked up and stressed. The therapist suggested separation until the first few sessions are done. It's called legal separation because the spouses have two different living addresses. I'm not divorcing her. I have no plans to. I just want her to heal properly first because continuing with the marriage. I found all this out 4 days ago. I'm trying to fix everything one step at a time. That's all. Believe me, I have no plans of abandoning her. Comment 2. You're not obligated to answer these questions. I'm just trying to gain a better understanding. Cousin assaulted her. This has been confirmed by sources within the family. Has the cousin attempted grooming her in years past? The tape of the two of you was sent to the cousin under duress, willingly, and to what end? I'm confused on this piece especially. I'm not implying your wife is lying. There's just a lot said that is missing context. Either way, your wife needs therapy. You're right to support that, her health, your sons, and this baby. Therapy might be a good choice for you too. Sometimes just having an outside and objective person to ideate with is tremendously beneficial. This is a complex situation. I hope wisdom, peace, and resolution rise to meet you with every step of this journey. Comment 3. The tape of the two of you was sent to the cousin under duress, willingly, and to what end? I'm confused on this piece especially. A very misguided attempt to show him that she was happy with Opie? If this has all been going on since she was a teen, there's likely a whole lot of warped thinking going on from all of this. Trauma can make you react weirdly. Not saying that that's for sure what it was, but trauma, especially years of sexual harassment, assuming this was the first time he assaulted her, can warp your mind. Comment 4. I don't think you guys get how bad abuse can cause someone to do something that might seem natural to them but unnatural to normal people. Speaking from experience, I can tell you that it was sent in duress. This girl has been abused and everyone's just okay and thinking that it's cheating when it's not.